Hey everybody, Adrian Nelson here. So let's speak about Crystal Reiki, which I absolutely love. It was in 2018, if I remember correctly, 2019, that I got my certificate as a qualified Crystal Reiki practitioner. But it was interesting to me. I remember that somebody mentioned to me, you get Crystal Reiki now. And I was like, oh well, I thought they were kidding with me because I started studying Reiki in 2013, and in 2014 I started studying crystal healing, and I'm going to tell you about that because I've got a fascinating story with that. But I always sort of just used the two together because they make a beautiful, wonderful, fantastic combination. Really, they do. And so somebody says to me that there's Crystal Reiki out and it's a thing now, and I was like, oh, whatever, I thought they were actually kidding with me because it's my friends. And until I actually found that it really is a wonderful qualifying thing, which I think is so fantastic. And apart from being a Reiki practitioner and a crystal healer, I also really enjoy teaching these modalities to others as well, because it's just fantastic. It's amazing because as I teach you, you go forward into life and you change and you help others change and you support a better world, which to me is an honor to be able to do. And with that being said, just with energy, very quickly, when you think about it, imagine yourself walking into a store or walking into say you're walking into a supermarket or cafe or something, and you just want to go and get yourself some lunch quickly. And you may think of it as just an action, but that action has a consequence. Imagine if you walk into that store, if you're all friendly and all nice and, or maybe you're the direct opposite. You're not friendly, you're not nice, or you're just sort of very neutral, sort of flowing through the vibe. You interact with other people who's got certain things going on in their life as well. And the interaction that you have with them has an impact on their life, as the interaction that they have with you has an impact on your life, which can be happy, sad, angry, whatever it really is. And then you leave the store, you go back to wherever you're going back to, and those people maybe stay in the store, they interact with others, they have lunch with others, maybe in the canteen, they go home, they interact with their family. But the interaction that they had with you and with everybody else has a ripple effect that continues to go onwards, onwards, and onwards. And I think a wonderful way to sometimes see this is when we sometimes get into a space where we connect with someone and they're not very nice, they're not very friendly, maybe they're outright rude, they're very, maybe maybe they are insulting in any way, or maybe they're like, they're gossiping about you, or like living little, like a little laugh or things like that. It has an impact on you. And obviously the opposite is also true. But the point that I'm trying to get to is that whenever we interact with energy in any way whatsoever, it has a rippling effect on our life. And the change that we make within our own life doesn't only impact us, it also impacts the future of the world, the next generation of the world. And that is the power of really focusing on healing the patterns within yourself, balancing that energy in a way that benefits you. And as it benefits you, it automatically benefits the rest of the world and the future by default. So Reiki itself, it is about the energy flow of life. And the wonderful thing about Reiki is that the person doesn't have to be with you, the client doesn't have to be with you for the session to be powerful. I've had many in-person sessions, obviously, and I've had many distance Reiki sessions. In actual fact, there is a specific symbol in Reiki that it's a distance Reiki symbol. So it sort of carries the energy. I've had great successes with that. And crystal healing, absolutely incredible. The way that crystal healing really works is the human body consists mostly out of water. And water is a very changeable structure. Crystals give out certain energy sort of frequencies or vibrations that stay very set, almost like a pH level, it doesn't change. So when you place the crystal on the body or within the vicinity of the body, then the body absorbs that energy and that changes the molecular structure of the water that the body consists of, and that is where the changes are coming from. Profound, profound, profound. It's amazing. And the incredible thing about that is when you do a distance session, which is literally when you're not with me, when you do a distance session, what really happens is that I focus on your specific energy with the Reiki energy, with the crystal energy, and the amazing thing is you can actually feel that. And what I really love about crystal Reiki, the combination, you can do them separate, but I've always been doing them together because I just feel, you know, if I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you the ultimate best of what I can. That is very important to me. And so with this beautiful, powerful combination, you really do get the best of both worlds, whether it's in person, whether it's across a distance, they're really equally beautiful. And with crystal healing, a little story that I wanted to share there with you is a couple of years ago, this was in 2015, I went cherry picking with my cousin. Now, I've never really known what cherries, I just assumed they sort of grow in the ground like strawberries or something like that. I didn't know they grow in these really large trees. And so I went cherry picking with my cousin the one day, this beautiful cherry farm there, and you get this little bucket and you can sort of go and pick yourself as many cherries as you want to. You just fill up the bucket and they've got these really high ladders. And I was up this ladder and, you know, going all crazy and things like that. And at some point the ladder toppled over and I was falling flat on the ground, ladder literally on top of me, cherries all over the place, red ones and black ones. And I was in such a horrendous amount of pain. And what happened is that many years prior to that, when I was a child, I was helping somebody offload big pieces of chunks of wood from a truck. And they were sort of like throwing them down and I was supposed to be catching it and putting it down, but I was getting quite bored quite quickly with this action. I didn't pay attention and next thing a piece of wood landed on my head. And my head was fine, but my lower back was hurt by the impact of the wood itself. And as I went through my life, you know, from time to time, I would get this really horrible backaches. And that day that I fell off the ladder, that was just the ultimate worst. Nothing helped. I tried everything. I went to go see the doctor. I went to go see all kinds of practitioners. I got all sorts of injections. I just tried absolutely everything and nothing worked. I was actually in so much pain that I didn't even want to walk from the bathroom to the bathroom. That's the amount of pain that I was in. I didn't want to breathe. It's horrible. And my last desperate hope was on the 31st of December 2015. I called my friend who was an incredible crystal healer at the time, and I had a couple of sessions with him already. And I said, I'm begging you, can I please come and see you? I know it's the 31st of December. I don't really know what else to do. And I remember I got there and I was in such an overwhelming almost amount of pain that it's almost like I couldn't stand up. And they had to help me onto the bed and I had my session, which was a 2-hour session. And that night, I actually went dancing. I went to a house party, I went dancing. It was amazing. And I've never really had problems with my back ever since. Occasionally I do, and when I do, I stop and I say, okay, where are my thoughts going at the moment? Because those are usually the times when my thoughts are going in a very negative direction. But I practice something called conscious living, where I really focus on what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, what am I putting out into life, because that is what I get back. And I feel that I just have to obviously let you know that even though crystal healing is fantastic for things like pain and body discomfort and things like that, it is usually even more successful when the physical body discomfort that we have is brought about by often emotional issues that we haven't dealt with. Because even though the piece of wood fell on my head, there were a lot of emotional issues that I didn't deal with at this point in my life. And there was also that constant thought that I would have in my life of like, poor me, poor me, poor me. And so I let go of that in the session, and that was the beautiful, powerful thing about it. So the crystal Reiki sessions that I have, they are 2-hour sessions, because I like to do a full energy cleanse, balancing your chakras, cleansing your aura, releasing all sort of entities that might be on you. And when we speak of negative entities, you know, we've got this tendency to make it all this horrible, really bad boogeyman type of things. But it's also really often negative thought patterns that we have, beliefs that no longer serve us in a positive way. And I think apart from all of that, the wonderful thing about a crystal Reiki session is that you really just get to rest. I call it sending your soul on a vacation, which I think our souls need so much at this particular point in time. So maybe I will see you for a session soon, which will be really, really fantastic. I would like to thank you for your time, your energy, your love, and your light. I hope that you get many reasons to smile today or tonight whenever you're looking at this video. From my heart, namaste, love and light.